Hey there everyone, Hitesh here and welcome back to the SaaS building playlist. In case you are new onto the playlist, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and yes, this is a playlist of building the entire SaaS. And what we're going to do in today's video. In the last video, we shared about how, and we discussed moreover about building a simpler upload part, and that can upload image, videos, PDF, whatever you like. And there are other ways we explored. In this video also, we are going to explore together that how we can build up a simple UI just like this, and a lot of heavy duty lifting is going to be done by the Cloudinary, but I'll show you the entire process, brainstorming with you and all these details. So this is what it says, upload an image. The UI part anyways is being taken care by the Daisy UI. I'm not worried about that part. If you go ahead and choose up any image onto this one, let's go ahead and pick up an image. So I'll just go ahead and pick up any image. So I'll just go ahead and use this one, or probably this one. So it just goes ahead and uploads. So definitely we are hitting our own API where it uploads the image, and then we actually download a preview image, and we have to set up some of the default parameters onto this. Some default parameters, we have to mention that. They don't automatically come up. We have to mention what size we are looking up for that. The focusing part, the gravity part, is automatically taken care by the AI on the Cloudinary side, but we have to mention that, hey, what kind of things we want. And as soon as I change the format, we need to hit a use effect hook so that it can actually go ahead and change that format as well. So I think enough of the idea about what is about to happen, and now we can just go ahead and build that. Now for this, another interesting part that we need to actually go ahead and discuss about this is we have to use something interesting from the Cloudinary, which is Cloudinary Next. It's a Next.js update by the Cloudinary, Next Cloudinary. And you can see a lot of things are happening, optimization. This is what inspired me to build a whole lot of things, social cards and whatnot, and a whole lot of things you can design and build. Let's go ahead and see installation. This is how we're going to install this. So let's just go ahead and copy this first of all. And there we go, install the Next Cloudinary. This actually gives you a couple of things which are interesting. So there are components that it gives us. So it's moreover centered to our managing a lot of things. A couple of things which are interesting is the cloud image, and then we have a cloud video player as well. It's not just an ordinary video player. It gives you so much of the stats behind the scene. It's the basic uses, transformation. There are examples even as well. So you can do all of the magic stuff here as well. You can go ahead and do the basic usage just like this, a lot of stuff. And notice here, everything is coming up from the Next Cloudinary. That's exactly what we want to use. If you want to use the video, then you have to import some of the CSS part as well. But again, it's a really nice player that works out of the box. It has all the features that you need, and it can be customized more. Similarly, we have the cloud image as well, a component which we are going to use. And there we go. We can go ahead and provide options to it, what width, size, what source you want to have, what sizes you want to have, so much more. And configuration, if you go ahead and check up, hey, there's so much going on with this. You want to fill the background, you have enhance, just one click and you can just create an app for enhancing as well. It's a gravity, prompt is cupcake. There's so much. You can fill it up with anything. You can ask user, hey, what background should I add? And they can just have fun with this. This is so much fun. It was almost impossible to even dream of building these kinds of apps and mobile apps and web apps for of this kind of a thing. We can see we have animated image infinitely for a specific number of times and recolor, whatnot. A lot of stuff is there. And we'll be using some of them. Basic idea, but I'll give you enough of the documentation that if you want to just remove the background, click up here, build your own background removal app. That is so nice. At least a good project to showcase in your portfolio. So much more, man. Again, hey, what happened? Why we couldn't install it? Cache folder, root owned, debug issues. Oh, again, that issue. Let me fix that. Let's go ahead and copy this. This happens sometimes when my system gets an update. All right, should be okay. Come on, do this faster. All right, you are happy now. And now I think we can go ahead and install Next Cloudinary, and that's my system issue, nothing else. I play around with a lot of stuff. All right, moving back, how can we design this? So this is the route that we are using in our application is a social share. So we're going to be creating apps just like that. This API is a folder where all the API routes happen. So this part is all done for us. Now, since we are into this app where all of our home, social share, all things are going on, this is the page we want to actually mention and we want to use it. Now, step one is to just go ahead and let's just keep the React. It's not harming much, but this everything is actually a use client. So let's just go ahead and have the use client at the very top. Now, apart from just the React, it's not going to be just React. We obviously need to change the state based on some action. So for this, obviously, we're going to use effect as well, but we're going to use state as well. And we'll be having the use effect as well. This is the one. And we will be using use ref as well. I am pretty sure in the future, this all use will turn just to use, but we'll see that. We also need one resource from the Cloudinary as well. So let's go ahead and say basic usage. We want to have this one. So let's just go ahead and grab it. And now, just after 1 second, we are completely capable of using this cloud image. But before that, we have to actually define some of the parameters. So while designing this app, we actually went ahead and designed a simple object for all these social frames. If you have more, you can just go ahead and add that. So this is just an Instagram format, width and height. We set them up. And again, there is no magical way of doing it automatically. You have to go ahead and do that. Now, we also would like to define a type onto this one. This is again a TypeScript kind of a thing. So we're going to go ahead and say this is a social format. And this one will be of type of, but not just any type, because we want to select a type from the object, above defined object. So we're going to say type of the social format. So only the keys are my social format type. Now, once this is all done, now I can go back onto this function. So I can just go ahead and say, let's just grab this export default. We can just go ahead and say export default function, social share, just like that. All right. First of all, let's define a couple of states so that we can have an idea about, is it getting uploaded? Is it getting changed? And all these selected format is there or something is not there, something like that. So step one is to go ahead and say, is it uploading the image? So we're going to say uploaded image. Is it true or not? So we can go ahead and say set upload image just like this. Now we also need to have a selected format as well. We'll be selecting one by default for the user. So let's just go ahead and have that. This one is going to be selected format. And this one is going to be selected format, and we'll be using Instagram square 11, whatever you want to use. Now, also we need to verify that is it uploading? Is it on that state so we can stop happening all the things that are happening? Const is uploading. And after that, set is upload, default is false. We also want to make sure that whether things are getting transformed or not, so that we can, based on that, perform some actions or not. So let's just say is transforming, and that's going to be set is transforming, just like that. We also will use the image references at some point, so it's better to use that as well. So let's just go ahead and say image ref, and that can be use ref HTML tag element. Love the AI aspect of it. All right, the first use effect that I want to do is in our application, as soon as somebody changes this, so that needs to happen. So the upload image, and that should only happen when somebody is uploading the image. So let's just go ahead and use a use effect on this one. We'll say use effect just like this. And we are going to not use this. This is messing it up. And we'll say just like this. Should be all happy. There we go. Now, first of all, we're going to check that if there is an uploaded image or not. So if there is an uploaded image, then only we would like to transform it. So let's just say we are just keeping a flag so that we want to know that whether should I transform it or not. So we'll just say set transform to true in that case. By default, the set transform is false. I'm not transforming anything. But this should also update. You should never write it like this. You should always have a dependency array that based on this, go ahead and change the state just like that. This should change when somebody is selecting a format. So selected format is any change in that. And also it should also change based on the upload image. So if there is a change in the uploading the image or selecting the format, that's where I want to change the state of is transform so that I can actually go ahead and transform this. The next step is to upload the image. So we'll create a simple method which handles the upload part. So let's just go ahead and call this as handle file upload. So we're going to go ahead and call this one as handle file upload. We're not handling it up here. We're just going ahead with the classic like this. Let's just go ahead and see what it's doing. It's saying file, which is getting event.target.files, the first file that I want, absolutely. And if there is file, I don't like this style of code, not my type. If there is no file, we're going to go ahead and directly return. If that is the case, if we have the file, first of all, we'll set the set is upload to true. So let's just go ahead and change this set is upload to true. I know that there is a file. If there is a file that I want to take that file, the form data, and I would like to append that form data and want to send it to my API. So let's just go ahead and do all of this. We'll say just like this, const form data. This is my form data, and that's going to be new form data. And after that, we'll just take this append as a file. That's the way of taking the file. That means, yes, we are taking the file from the input and we are appending it as a file. That means key value pair. That is what exactly my API is expecting. After that, since I'm reaching out to the API, it would be nice to have a try catch. And all I have to do is await. You can use Axios as well, but we're going to use fetch. Classic fetch. And we're going to go ahead and say we are hitting the route. Which route we are hitting? We're hitting /API/upload image-upload. Hopefully that's the one we have, image-upload. All right, this is the route that we are hitting with a simple image upload, and this image upload, does it need to be a post route? Let's just keep it as a post route anyways. So I'll just go back onto the page and let's just fetch this so that we can add additional methods. I'm not sure whether should I make it a method a post or something, but anyways. And in the body, we are just sending the form data. Let's store that into a variable, whatever the result is, const response. There we go. Now that I have response, what is the response that I'm sending into this one? If there is a success, I'm sending the public ID. So I'm just having this public ID directly available in my response. All right, so my response is all great. And apart from this, if response is all okay, then everything should be all okay. And once I have this response, should have used some kind of a React query or something. But anyways, we'll do it hard-coded way. If there is no response, dot okay, we're going to go ahead and throw new error that says failed to upload image. Response. There we go. And if everything goes right, then we have the data. So let's just go ahead and extract the data. And again, we could have saved some time by using React query. Response.json. Once we have the JSON, let's just go ahead and use set upload image to data.publicID. Nice. And we also set the set is uploading to false. Did we enable it? Set is uploading to true. Yes, we should upload that. I think what I would love to do is not to put it up here. A better way of putting it up here would be in the finally. Finally, just like that. I think that would be a better place. Anyways, you can just put it wherever you like. Once we're done with this, in the catch error part, console log, I love to do that. Console.log error. And once we're done with this, we can just go ahead and say classic alert. Since we are on the front end side, we are using use a client failed to upload image. That would be nice. Little hack, but yeah, that's great. All right. So image handling part is all done. And this is not very magical. We are just hitting our own API. No big deal there. The next step of handling this part is how do we handle the download? Because that's where the magic happens. And for the download part, we're going to say that, hey, we want to fetch a blob, but there is a little bit more that we need to learn and understand about it. Now, this is the part where you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but that is okay. That is why you are in the videos. You are not just here to learn everything that you already know, something new. So the way how we are going to handle the download part is a little bit interesting. When you click on the download, this is downloading for the portrait 4:5. So if you change the format, we want to change the name of this file as well. So Instagram portrait 4_4,5. You can have any pattern that you like, but we have a pattern that we want to use. So after the name, whatever the format you're using, we'll be using underscore then 4_5, but you can use any format or pattern. The goal here is that how you can actually prompt a user to have a downloadable asset which has a customized name from your end. So that is interesting, and that's a new stuff that you are learning up here. So let's just see that how we can actually handle the download. We'll be having a method, and after that we'll just attach this method to the button. So we're going to go ahead and say handle download. And again, you might feel a little bit overwhelming, not much, but a little bit, and that's okay. That's why we are here, to learn the stuff. The first thing that we're going to do is we need to have a reference, this image reference, to actually download this. If we don't have a reference to this, and this reference tag we will be adding when we'll be designing the front end part of it, basically whatever is returning. So we'll be attaching that, and we need that because that's the image which is downloading, because these are two different things. This image is a different element, this download is a different element, and this download button needs to know which element I'm trying to download. And that's exactly the reason why we have this image ref here using the use ref hook. All right, so first of all, we're going to go ahead and quickly check that if there is no image ref that is holding anything in the current, then go ahead and return. That means I don't know what to download. It has no idea. We haven't provided the reference for it. Now, once this is all done, then we're going to go ahead and download the source of it. So that is easy comparatively. The hard part is actually to say that what should be the name of the blog. That's where you can just go ahead and use the easy way as well. So in the fetch, all we got to do is use this image ref just like this and say, hey, we want to download this current, and just download the source of it. Once this fetch is there, you can just go ahead and use a dot then, and inside the then you will have the response. Whatever the response you got, let's just go ahead and wrap this up. There we go. Once we have this response, we're going to go ahead and say this response.blob. There we go. So this probably will download the thing, but we want to control what comes into the window as well. This will work fine decently, but this is where you chain on another then and actually make this blob. So whatever the blob is coming from the last chaining of the then, this is where a little bit of the magic comes up. So this is where you control that what window and all these things are coming up. The way how it is done, first of all, you need an access to window object, otherwise it doesn't work. Window.url, and we're going to go ahead and say create object URL. You can go ahead and read more about this in case you are interested about this. This is a very interesting object, and probably we can just go ahead and go up here. And this is a revoke object URL. Static method in URL interface release an existing object URL which previously was called. So basically what it's saying is, hey, you can just go ahead and control the pop-up windows that comes up, or you can do some manipulations in what's getting downloaded and all these stuff. So we're going to go ahead and say whatever the window comes up from the blob, we want to actually control that. So that's our URL. Let's control this const URL. Okay, so you have the blob. What do you want to do now? Now we want to actually create an element. This is kind of a copy paste kind of a stuff which always happen. Then we have to create a link out of it so that we can actually go ahead and control it. We can go ahead and say this one is document.create element A. Then we can go ahead and say link href to the URL, and then we can have a link download image. All right, so this is where kind of you can say that, hey, rest of the stuff is already copy paste, and we can finally revoke the object URL as well. And apart from this, I'll walk you through with each of the step what's happening. This is usually the copy paste stuff which goes like that. But again, let me just go ahead and say one more line. Document.body, and we can just go ahead and say remove child or link. Okay, now it's time that I walk you through that what's exactly happening and how is it happening. Okay, the step one, what we're doing is we are trying to control the blob, the object that is coming up. Then we are simply going ahead and creating a URL out of it. So let me try to explain this from the mindset that you have never done this kind of JavaScript wizardry. This is usually a method which is mostly understood by people who have done any kind of web scraping or scraping of the images in the pure raw JavaScript. What happens is when you're trying to download any image from any resource or any link, not just any Cloudinary link, is you cannot do that programmatically. It's really, really hard to actually go ahead, take the image from the web and download it. You have to actually go ahead, click on the button which gives you the link, and you actually have to get that blob and save it. So what is happening here? Let me go ahead and add this line by line. So first of all, what we are doing is we are trying to access a resource. So we are using fetch for it. Fetch simply means that, hey, whatever the response is coming up, it's not actually a web request, but rather we are hacking and using fetch for a different purpose. We are trying to access a URL. Now, whatever the response of the URL is, we are trying to convert that into a blob, simple blob. That's going to be, blob is just a binary object. So we are trying to convert that into a binary object. Now, once this is a binary object, what we're trying to do is we are trying to create a URL out of that binary object. Once this binary object is being created, we're trying to create a URL. Now, because everything needs to be accessed through URL, that's a web, that's the magic of it. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to create a URL out of this blog, and we are actually pointing to the in-memory data of the image. I know this is a little bit hard, but hey, that's why you are here in the tutorial. Now, once we're done with this, we're trying to create a new anchor tag, and we are trying to programmatically click on it so that you can download the image. This is a classic 101 way of downloading the image. Otherwise, if you'll just download or click on the download the image, it will take you onto the new tab and will show you the image there. And people don't want that. People want an experience of having a pop-up window that. And this is a really, really hacky way of doing that. In case you are doing any kind of a you can also do more of it programmatically, can save them also so that you can have just the image, a window is popping up, saving, popping up, saving. So yeah, that's a different way. But this, anybody who has been writing code in pure raw JavaScript, hey, knows this. So again, reminding you again, what is each step is doing. We're using a simple fetch to call a URL of the image, and which is retrieved by this URL. So we are making a fetch request basically to this one. Yeah, that's an interesting way of fetching. And these are the things asked in the interviews as well. Then what we are doing is we are having this response. We are converting that as a binary object, short form for blob. And once this blob is being created, we are trying to create a URL out of this blob. And you might be wondering, hey, how we are actually doing that? We are trying to invoke a little bit of the in-memory data of the image. Each image has an in-memory data as well. And we are trying to just create a URL out of it. Once that URL is created, now I can go ahead and click on it. And then once I'm clicking on it, the link will download and this will be an image just like that. Once I have this image, it's not really required that you should have or set the name of the image as well. We can actually go ahead and download the link with a different URL as well. When we were building the application originally, we actually used something like this, which is whatever the selected format is, we actually replace it with a dash and then the lowercase of all of it with a .png. Again, you can use just the image name as well. And then we are just, this is just a cleanup. So once we are done with the document append link and we have clicked on it, link click, this is all just a cleanup. Hey, remove everything so that it doesn't appear there. This is really nice way and you should really try this. I know this is a little bit of a new stuff, but hey, this is fun. I thought to share this in this tutorial. Anyways, let's go ahead and build the front end, the UI part of it now. All right, so I'm trying to save you some time by not writing the classic tailwind and all of that. Anyways, it's being handled by the third party Daisy UI, so it's not really much worth talking. So we have a simple social media image creator. We're having a card which says upload an image, we pick up the image, and then there is an input being given to you. Input is a type of file which is governed by handle file upload, really classic. As the file is getting uploaded, is uploading, we actually show them a progress bar. If the file image is uploaded, we ask them to select the social media format. And again, there is a select dropdown, classic HTML, nothing big deal there. And in that, we are just setting the set selected format and we are targeting that as a social format, really basic. Then we are also looping through to show them the select options by simply looping through the social formats and mapping through all of them and giving the keys and values. That's really basic. Now, once we're done with this, then this is the preview part. This is where things get interesting that, hey, we have all these loadings and all these happening. So if it is transforming, we show them the loading icon and all of that. So that's really okay. But once this is all loading is done, we want to show them the preview. So this is the part where it gets interesting. So we come up here on this that, hey, the transforming is all done, or is it happening in the background? How do we display that image? Is it going to be classic image URL? No, this is where the magic of your SaaS application comes up. So if we go ahead and look for the Cloudinary image, this is where we want to use this Cloudinary image because this is where you can transform the things on the go. Yeah, that is the magic part. So I can literally just go ahead and copy this all thing and can transform them the way I want. And obviously not like that, but I'll just go ahead and use it like this. All right, now this is a hard-coded value that, hey, you want to use the hard-coded value, go ahead and do that. But we can actually use some of the programming magic up here and can provide the values on the go. I can just go ahead and provide a variable on that, and I can say, hey, social formats, whatever is the selected format, just go ahead and use the width of it. Similar to that, I can just go ahead and use a selected format and can use a height. I hope you are able to understand that how much power it actually gives you, that you can just transform the things by just providing a property. What you're doing with just normal CSS and normal HTML element, that doesn't transform it truly. The image always remains the same. You are just displaying it different, but here you're actually transforming it. It's a all new image. Now, similar to this, we are going to go ahead and use a variable up here in the source. Obviously, it cannot be like that. So we'll have uploaded image. Now sizes, I'll just go ahead and say 100% viewport width so that all of the images are there. And we can say transform, better message could be there. And this one can be transformed image. Yeah, that's nice. Now, not only that, we can just go ahead and say if you want to use crop, all these factors, everything is mentioned up there. I'm going to go ahead and just use the fill. Not like that. I'm going to go ahead and use a fill like that. But there are more options on it. Now, also, we're going to go ahead and say, hey, we are going to use aspect ratio as well. And for the aspect ratio, we're going to say selected format, aspect ratio. That's good. One thing I would highly encourage you to do is mention the gravity. Don't ever forget not to mention the gravity and try auto. And one thing that I'm pretty sure you're going to miss, and you haven't even asked me, and yeah, the magic actually comes from the ref. If you forget to mention this ref, nothing is going to work because we have built the entire logic based on that. Now, we'll also go ahead and use one more logic up here is on load, although we don't need this, but we're going to go ahead and use this on load. So we're going to go ahead and fire up set transforming is false because it has loaded. This is my favorite thing. And we actually did a lot of research work in finding this out. This is not easy to find all this transformation. You have to go through with all this. So this on load simply gives you that, hey, I'm all done. I'm all transforming. It's a kind of a callback. So yeah, you have to kind of drill it down with the SDKs. But yeah, this is really nice. Go ahead and try this out. The rest of all the stuff is all okay. We have done that. We have built that. So I hope this whole code file will give you some of the information. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have learned about this way of downloading the image. This is really nice. And it doesn't need to be in the Cloudinary. You can just use this in your regular HTML, JavaScript basics as well. It's pretty nice. I enjoy this quite a bit. All right, so this is all that you need to know about the Next.js Cloudinary images that you want to know. I think this knowledge will be very useful and you'll be able to use it anywhere now. That was my goal. I hope you have enjoyed this. Let's catch up in the next video.